Hello, Beauty News family. How you going? The royalty is back. You might be able to tell that we're putting up a lot less content this month, but we did warn you about that. So if you didn't know,
we're taking a break.
Where were you?
We're taking a break.
Attention.
It's been a long 2020 and we need a month off.
Yeah, we do. Everyone else gets a holiday, so we should as well.
That's true.
Now, today's video, we're basically taking a look back on our 2020 makeup and beauty trend prediction video, seeing if we got any jackpots.
I love that the title is Predicting the Future.
I know, right?
I didn't even notice at the time.
Because we're like, ooh. And we're also going to make some predictions for 2021.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit of a strange year. I'm not allowed to swear in the first minute, otherwise YouTube demonetize us.
Did we swear?
No, but I was going to. But that's what we're doing. We're going to take a look back at last year's video, react to it, and talk about new trends for 2021, sorry. And look, it's going to be a weird year, so I would say that, you know, you should expect some weird predictions.
That's true. And we haven't watched the trend predictions video since putting it up. So I have no recollection
idea.
of
I
what
can't
we did.
remember. No.
But it's time to watch it.
Let's do it. Hello, Beauty News family. Welcome to our 2020 Hello, Beauty News family. Welcome to our 2020
but I just didn't expect them to be as big as
We're not recording.
Hello, Beauty News family. Welcome to our 2020...
Just as professional as we ever were.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. That was so good.
Oh, shit.
You should just watch that video for the sake of it being funny.
We need to get the plants back.
I agree. The plants look so good. Also, Hailey's got a frozen Coke.
I know, where are our frozen Cokes?
Fuck,
We haven't done
man.
that. Remember people used to complain that we were sponsored by McDonald's?
For God's sake, guys.
I wish.
It's bloody 2020. It was 2019 at the time when we filmed that video. You couldn't have sponsors without telling people.
That's true.
It's illegal. So
There you go.
sponsor us, Coke.
Since eyeshadows came back in a massive way, and coloured eyeshadows came back in a massive way, colour stories are like a massive thing.
Yes.
Colour trends are huge.
Yes.
So what are some of your predictions?
Look, pastels, we're already seeing it.
Yeah.
I feel like we're going to have a good chunk of pastel time.
Pastels.
Yeah, it kind of died. It kind of didn't go anywhere.
It was sort of like a...
Yeah, a little like blip. And I
Because
think
like Colourpop did like the...
they did a whole like
tie-dye?
colour story. Yeah, tie-dye colour story. But that came late.
Yeah.
It came like... Because Colourpop just stopped releasing stuff.
They closed. They had to close
yeah.
their factories. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, pastels. Yeah. One that I think is going to come back in a big way, and I'm totally here for it, is revamped nudes.
Yeah.
Nudes. I'm glad we predicted that.
Yeah.
I'm hoping for sort of like neutral browns or cool tone browns. But we have started seeing some come up with like, you know, the big Colourpop palette that came out.
Yes. Bare necessities.
Yeah, they brought out
bare necessities.
Stressful Fox.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely nudes came back, like nude eyeshadow palettes came back big time. Massive.
Jeffree Star nearly fucked it up for everyone.
Oh yeah, he ruined the nudes. But yeah, if Jeffree Star's doing it,
oh yeah,
you know that it's coming back.
Yeah.
So nudes were huge, especially I think towards the end of the year, cool tone nudes were coming in. But colour was still there. It just wasn't as every brand needs to do a rainbow palette like they were doing in 2019. Colour definitely did come out, and there are brands known for their colour palettes that stuck with it. But even some of the brands that have stuck with it are starting to release nudes. Like we just saw Glamlight bring out a nude palette, which they've never done before. So, you know, definitely it was the year of the nudes. And eyeshadow palettes didn't go anywhere. No. Absolutely not.
But I do think cool tones are definitely going to make a comeback, especially like in the nude family and stuff like that.
I actually think that's more of what we're going to see
Yeah, I agree.
this year.
The cooler tones.
The cooler tones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe more grungy style nudes.
Yeah.
Rather than the traditional warm nudes.
Yeah, but even like Viseart had those little like quad palettes and they had like a cool tone one with some greys and whatnot. And I feel like that's the one that everyone's been talking about on Instagram.
Yeah.
Everyone's been reviewing that one or taking photos of it. They do have other warmer tone nude like quads and people just have totally ignored them. So I think cooler tone is coming back in a major way and it's going to continue all the way through 2021.
Yeah.
Another prediction that we had last year that didn't really eventuate. It eventuated a little bit.
Tiny bit.
But not enough that not what I was expecting.
Yeah.
And that's green eyeshadows. Now, we did explain in our reaction video that I felt like greens were getting there, but then the trends sort of turned to blue.
Yeah.
Now, a few people in the comments were saying how surprised they were that Jeffree Star can like sway people so much. Jeffree did bring out his Blood Money palette.
He did. And it wasn't very green, was it?
No, it was pretty green. There was greens in there.
Oh, it was?
Yeah. The purple one wasn't very purple.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. They all blend into one for me.
They do. And I think also as an offshoot to what we've seen in the past, so we saw a lot of warm tones, we saw a lot of blue, and I think a lot of people are predicting purples because they tend to pair really nicely with those colour stories. Purples were around.
They were, yeah. I don't think they took off as much as I thought they would, though.
No.
I thought purple would be like the next blue or the next green.
Yeah.
And it didn't really go there.
No, there were definitely purple palettes.
Yeah,
and
there were.
Like, again, sort of, you think of brands that have brought out some sort of colourful palettes and the purple ones were the ones that were sort of selling and that people were really loving. But yeah, it didn't come out like everyone's wearing purple eyeshadow.
Let's talk about the size of palettes.
Let's talk about
I
size
reckon
of
capsule palettes, and I know you agree with this, they're going to stay small.
Yeah.
I think small palettes are really going to boom through 2020. We will definitely see big palettes. They're not going to give up on that completely. But yeah, I definitely think small palettes are way of the future.
Yeah, I think you're right with that one. We did see a lot of small palettes, but again, the big palettes didn't go anywhere.
No,
they were still there. But if you want a really nice quad these days, you can so easily find them.
Yeah.
A few people predicted that single eyeshadows are going to come back in a big way. I don't feel that.
No.
Okay, cool. So people were predicting, I think, in the comments that singles were going to come back because Makeup Geek relaunched and did a bunch of singles. They didn't come back.
No, they didn't.
And we said they wouldn't come back.
No.
And they didn't.
I knew that we would see some here and there.
Yeah.
And especially from indie brands and stuff like that. But no,
They didn't.
I knew they wouldn't make a strong comeback.
No. Another thing that a few people predicted, and I think this is fair, I don't know if this is going to be a big trend, but I do definitely think brands are going to start looking at it, is creating more minis.
Okay. First, you said you don't think they will really go there.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think you're dead right about that. But I think the brands are dumb if they don't.
All right, so we're probably talking over this as it's happening because I've had it on double speed because this video is very long. We're just talking about minis and how we think brands should bring out more minis, but we don't think they will. We have seen a few brands.
We have. We're starting to see it. And like I said, it would probably take 2 or 3 years for it to really get the ball rolling on it. And I think that still stands.
Yeah.
I think we will start to see more minis coming out. And I think brands are understanding that there's a market for it for sure. Mm-hmm. And we did see some this year, which was great.
We did see mainly like mini packs for Christmas, which we always see. Yeah. But I feel like that some brands were incorporating items that we don't usually see in mini form. So like KKW was doing the mini lip liners, which I think is such a great idea, but we haven't seen before. So we've always seen mini mascaras, mini lipsticks, but it's really nice to see brands sort of realizing that, okay, we don't, like Becca do the mini sort of highlighters in the
ornaments,
tree ornaments
and stuff.
So it'd be nice to see the brands bring those out permanently, but I don't think that's going to happen for a while. The food palettes, the pet palettes, the fucking random object palettes, I think that's going to come back. random object palettes. Like we did see, it was mainly just Glamlight doing it.
It's just Glamlight, all right? It's just this one rogue brand that's like food and weird shit.
So I don't think it actually it was a trend because I can only think of Glamlight doing it.
Yeah.
But Glamlight stuck to their guns and they kept up
They kept
with the
going.
stupid palettes. Makeup Revolution did it as well with the Friends collaboration,
yes.
but it's sort of like
little bit
merchandisey.
relevant-ish,
Yeah, so
yeah.
it's not as bad. So I don't think that eventuated this year. A lot of people were suggesting eco-friendly packaging or minimal packaging or refillable packaging.
Yep.
Again, like where that's going, I think it's ahead of its time.
Yeah, I do too, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Like we are starting to see some brands do it, you know, Victoria Beckham Beauty.
And you still can't buy the refills.
Yeah, that's stupid. Yeah, so eco-friendly, refillable sort of packaging, we said that it was ahead of its time and we didn't really see any of it this year.
No, none.
Like some brands might have brought out lipsticks that you can refill, but
but
especially the bougie ones. When they brought out the Hermes sort of lipsticks,
that's right.
they were refillable. And like, you know, the Estee Lauder fancy sort of powder compacts and stuff, whatever they do, they were all refillable, but that they sort of do those every year anyway. It's not as if it's anything new. So we didn't see the eco-friendly, which we did predict. So tick.
This is going to happen this year, and I'm sorry. There's going to be people who are heartbroken like me. Clear frosted packaging.
Did we see any more of this?
MAC did those.
They did do a little bit.
But that was just an extension of that range, I think.
Yeah, it was.
So
I don't think we saw it.
we sort of thought it was going to go like elsewhere, like maybe clear plastic but coloured. Like I'm thinking the Melt Beetlejuice, were they clear plastic coloured?
They were actually.
But they not frosted, just clear.
No,
we didn't see much of that.
Good.
That's good that the trend
Thank God.
that didn't fulfill. I'm also going to say that I think glitter is not going to stop this year.
No, it's not. And I think the brands are fools. I think they have it in their head that glitter is the next big thing and we put it in everything. Last year we said that we love glitter. We were all for glitter. Give us eye safe glitter. But look, I think they just took it to a place that we were not meaning for them to go.
I think glitter did get better this year.
It did a little bit. There were still brands that tried to bring out glitter lipsticks, I think.
And glitter eyeshadows.
Yeah, was it Givenchy this just past holiday season? They had glitter lipsticks, and I feel there has 100% been brands that have put glitter in their eyeshadow palettes.
But it's pulled back a lot.
They've got...
Because Colourpop was pretty much putting a glitter eyeshadow in every palette release, and now you rarely see them from Colourpop. They listen to the feedback.
Everyone was just like, fucking stop it. Stop it. So it's good that they listened.
But yeah.
We still see it.
We still see it, but definitely not as much.
Yeah.
So it is the more dewy finish makeup, the more natural finish makeup, less heavy caked on makeup, which is actually not me today, so who the fuck am I to talk?
I don't feel like we really saw it. I don't feel like we saw a lot of base products in general, to be honest.
No, I don't feel like we did. Or there were some that were sort of minimal, like I'm thinking Cosmetics with their cushion foundation, a few. But I do think in general, makeup has been pared back. And I don't think that's let's make a decision to wear more natural makeup. That's just the pandemic has forced people to not put so much effort into makeup. They're not leaving their houses as much. They're not going to work. They're wearing masks. So I think that definitely people have pared back on their makeup usage. I've heard a lot of people say like, you know, I wanted to do a project pan this year, but I'm not even wearing any makeup. So I almost feel like that has gone to the extreme that we didn't predict.
Yeah, we couldn't predict the pandemic, unfortunately.
No, we couldn't.
No.
Otherwise, I would have invested in hand sanitizer companies.
God, mate, toilet paper over here.
Yeah, I would have invested, not stored it. Just invested in the companies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
So yeah, I definitely think it did go more minimal, but not
for the reasons
not because
that
of
we
a
thought.
trend.
No.
Just because of necessity.
Yeah.
We had contouring as being a huge thing, about 10 years ago. Then we had highlighting as being a major thing that lasted like 5 years. So blush has been ignored in that time.
Yeah.
And there's been no real interesting blush releases or innovations that have happened. So I feel like blush is the next thing to take off.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those steps that people sort of forget now, but blushes can be really beautiful. But I don't think they've brought out anything new in the last 10 years.
They haven't innovated it.
No.
Which means it's just stagnant.
Yeah, and people are like, I've got blush.
Yeah.
I don't need to buy that one.
Yeah.
Maybe different textures, like you're starting to see people bring out more liquids and mousses and some interesting things. I think blushes could definitely be the next face product that is really trendy. I know a lot of people mentioned in the comments that they really like yellow blush and like more unique colours.
Yellow blush didn't really take off, did it? It was like a
no, but
it was a bubble trend.
I don't think that was I don't think that was a trend that I think we were predicting more unique colours, not necessarily yellow. But they did have that. What was that brand?
Rituel de Feel.
Rituel de Feel did have those cream. Remember those sort of like
yes.
jelly type ones? They had a yellow and people went nuts for those.
Yeah,
they sold out.
Yeah.
I think this blush thing saying that, like, I don't think highlighters went anywhere this year either.
No.
Neither did bronzing or contouring.
No.
I do think when it comes to face colour, cheeks were on the forefront, but I don't think that they have yet, and this is exactly what I said, I don't think they've taken off yet, but we are seeing some more interesting like serum formulas, stick formulas, we are seeing different colours like that Rituel de Feel with the sort of gel sort of concept, like the multi-purpose products, we're seeing a bunch of those. So I do think blush is popular, but looking back at the things like the photos of the yellow blush, again, that hasn't been happening because people haven't been wearing that much makeup. And people haven't been putting on blush because people have been wearing masks. So brands are bringing it out, but I feel like it's sort of held back a bit.
I think there's also been some stagnation with the releasing of these products because of COVID as well.
Which I think is fair. And I think the whole industry has stagnated because of this year.
Basing a collection around
random event.
X. Yes, random event. You might have, well, we did have, which was massive, Pride.
Yes.
Huge. Chinese New Year.
Yeah.
Huge.
Last year, I think if we were lucky, if we saw maybe half a dozen releases from Western brands.
Yeah.
This year, we could have done a whole episode on brands releasing products in Chinese New Year packaging.
Yeah.
Last year, we saw the massive boom of April.
Yeah,
with
420.
420.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't see any 420 this year, did we?
And it was 420 because it was...
Oh, that was blissful.
Yeah, so what we were just talking about, you saw it, but themed things, because people were making events out of everything.
Yeah.
But this year, I think because April was like lockdown and like things started to get quite dire, people they couldn't work. This was when a lot of brands like Melt, I remember they brought out their second sort of 420 weed themed palette. But I think that was their first
ship, could they?
I think that was their first release that they could ship. They had to close their website down, and then that was the first release that they could ship since the lockdowns happened, and then like I think the warehouses were closed and everything. So I do think even though a lot of brands were releasing things like Chinese New Year and whatnot, it did not carry on throughout the year. There was no Easter things. There was very few Halloween releases. So I think in terms of making a collection for an event has not happened this year. But I think what has happened instead, and I don't know if we talk about this, is just random collaborations. So like movie releases, Friend TV show releases, Disney princess releases, SpongeBob SquarePants releases. So I feel like Harry Potter coming out the fucking wazoo. So I think instead of it being 420 or Pride Month, which again, Pride Month, everyone was in lockdown, or we were in lockdown anyway. It definitely...
And we didn't see any Pride collections, did we?
There was nothing. So, I think instead it's been the collaboration with random properties rather than events, if that makes sense.
Before we continue with this week's episode, we do have some sponsors. Aurate is a women-founded jewelry brand and all about female empowerment. Recently, they collaborated with Kerry Washington to drop the Lioness collection. It celebrates fierce women, and we are here for it. Aurate is jewelry for life in every sense of the word. Their pieces are real gold, so you can wear them anywhere from the gym to the shower or around the house, and of course when you're dressed up for a special occasion. Aurate goes with everything and will never turn your skin green. Aurate also makes gold more accessible by selling directly to you without the middleman markup, meaning you get quality metals and diamonds for a fraction of the price. And because gold never goes out of style, all Aurate pieces come with a lifetime warranty. I have the mini gold bar earrings in 14 karat white gold, and Kat has the midi gold bar earrings in 14 karat yellow gold. They're great pieces and I literally never take mine out. They've held up beautifully through months and months of daily wear. Right now you can check out the Lioness collection and everything else Aurate has, plus get 15% off your first purchase when you go to auratenewyork.com/beauty and use promo code beauty at checkout. That's Aurate, AURATE, newyork.com/beauty and use promo code beauty for 15% off. If you're working from home and need to get shit done, we would highly recommend skipping the leggings and putting on a pair of real pants. I know, horrible idea. However, Beta brand dress pant yoga pants are a good option. Their customer favorite dress pant yoga pants are made of wrinkle resistant stretch knit fabric, making them perfect for literally anything you need to do. There are tons of different colors and styles to choose from, like boot cut, straight leg, skinny cropped, and more. I have the merinos, and not only do they look like work pants, but they are actually comfortable. They stretch nicely around the waist, thighs, and knees, so I don't feel restricted throughout the day. Women love these pants because they fit so well and feel great on. Plus, they launch new styles weekly. Right now, our listeners can get 30% off their first Beta brand order when you go to betabrand.com/beauty. That's 30% off your first order for a limited time at betabrand.com/beauty. Discover what it's like to be comfortable and confident all the time. Go to betabrand.com/beauty for 30% off. Native cares about what you put on your armpits. That's why their deodorant's ingredients list includes things you've actually heard of, like coconut oil and shea butter. To top it all off, none of their products are tested on animals and almost everything is vegan. Native is risk-free to try. Every product comes with free shipping within the US, plus free 30-day returns and exchanges. Plus, they have options. Native has a line of sensitive deodorants for people with baking soda sensitivities, plastic-free deodorants if you're trying to cut down on your plastic consumption, and even an unscented option if you're all about your natural scent. And if you want to try something a little different, check out their rotating seasonal scents. You can even subscribe to Native so you'll never have to sweat about running out of deodorant again.
We're in the middle of summer here in Australia, so I've been really putting these deodorants to the test, and I have nothing bad to say about them at all. I'm not sweaty, I'm not smelly, and I haven't been using traditional antiperspirant deodorant for months and months and months. Call me a convert because I placed an order for a few new scents just about a month ago. I really wanted to try some of their holiday seasonal scents, and I also wanted to try a shower gel. So far, I've really enjoyed all the fragrances that I've tried, but I also love that they bring out seasonal scents, so it allows you to keep trying new scents all year round.
Make the switch to Native today by going to nativedeo.com/beauty or use promo code beauty at checkout and get 20% off your first order. That's nativedeo.com/beauty or use promo code beauty at checkout for 20% off your first order. This episode is brought to you by 1010. Now, you may have read about this in the New York Times or Forbes, and we're excited to tell you about it. 1010 is an exclusive collection of 10 one-of-a-kind engagement rings designed by 10 of the most distinctive designers working today. Using only diamonds responsibly sourced from Botswana, 10 design masters have each produced a uniquely beautiful commitment ring, launching exclusively on January 18th at BlueNile.com. And when they're gone, they're gone. We all know that the diamond engagement ring is iconic. It's a timeless expression of the deepest commitment between two people. And with 1010, it's been beautifully re-envisioned in the hands of 10 modern designers, working exclusively with sustainably sourced diamonds. If you're making 2021 plans or on the hunt for the perfect ring to wear forever, you're definitely going to want to check this out. Again, this exciting limited edition collection of diamond engagement rings launches on January 18th, and you can preview it exclusively at BlueNile.com.
More failed, TV, movie type collaborations.
And it did continue.
It did, big time. That was probably the biggest thing. And I always feel like brands didn't release things unless it was tied to a property.
Yeah.
Where they almost had to release it.
It was under contract. They were
like
obligated
Milan
to do
and
it.
Colourpop went ahead even though the movie didn't go ahead.
Yeah.
So I definitely think you were spot on there with random collaborations. I think, however, you said failed collaborations and some were immense failures.
Yeah.
But I think some were pretty decent as well.
Yeah,
Like,
there were some good ones.
so it wasn't as if it was just like they're all blanket shit.
Yeah.
There were some decent ones. Like Besame did a few. I don't know if they were decent. I don't care.
Yeah.
No. I don't care.
I know that they're like, something I was mentioning was brands letting the team down where they like fuck up shipping or the numbers that they release or whatever. I know Besame had insanely expensive international shipping. I know recently the Hip Dot Panic at the Disco one went pear-shaped. I think that's all that comes to mind at the moment. I'm pretty sure all of Colourpop's went pretty smoothly.
Yeah, Colourpop's went pretty smoothly, except they had like, regional sort of exclusions, like with the Hello Kitty one and stuff, but that, it is what it is. And then also a few went well, like the Melt Beetlejuice one went well.
Yeah.
There was the Friends Makeup Revolution one, I think went fairly well. So yeah, that's going to continue.
Yeah,
2021,
sure, 100%.
they're going to fucking collaborate with the most random properties ever. We've seen it a lot this year.
Yeah.
I think gemstones and astrology is not going to go anywhere.
No, I don't think that'll go anywhere. And I think other brands, and not just Kathleen Lights, but I think other brands will pick it up.
Yes. Astrology, gemstones fell flat. We only saw one recently with Beauty Blender.
They're like struggling behind. Wait for me!
Help me! Help me!
We're flailing.
Yeah, but we didn't see pretty much anything else. So that didn't happen.
No.
Which I'm fine with.
Colour changing lip balms.
There's been a lot of colour changing lip balms.
There has.
And cheap products now. Another, like probably the last trend we're going to talk about that a lot of people brought up, and I think this is totally a huge trend that's coming. It's not a product release trend, it's just a vibe, like a consumer trend, and that's a low buy, no buy, minimal purchasing, sort of more conscious,
mindful
purchasing. Low buy, no buy, mindful purchasing. I think people have been doing that a lot.
Yep.
But again, I sort of feel like
it's not because of an actual trend. I think it was a lot more because of COVID.
Yes.
People were forced to
wear less.
And obviously a lot of people didn't have as much money to spend. I think within the makeup community, like the online, let's call it YouTube community, we did see a little bit more of people being more mindful of where they're spending their money, what they're spending it on, how much they're buying. But I don't think it was actually, I think a lot of it was driven by COVID.
Yeah, because I agree. I think it's not so much like, let's use up my collection and streamline it to be more minimal, and why buy a lipstick and a blush when I can buy a combined stick product and just have one item. That didn't happen at all. I think it was more people assessing, why am I spending $50 on a palette when I lost my job? I can't even go to the shops to check it out. Do I want to take a risk when I would prefer to put that money towards security. So I think it's definitely less purchasing, but not more using up of makeup, which I think is the difference here.
Yeah.
It's not using what you've got until you buy more. It was just flat out
Less.
Yeah. And I think that was the last trend. So we're closing that because it's too fucking long.
That's a long video.
It's a long video. You're long. Oh my God.
So long.
Yeah. So I think we'll lead into trend predictions of 2021. And I do think that will continue.
Yeah.
And again, I think it's going to be more about use what I have because I can't justify buying more. And it's also fatigue. It's just, look, this year I don't care what brands are releasing.
Yeah.
Am I buying your lipsticks?
No.
Because I'm wearing masks.
Yeah.
So why do I fucking care? So I think it's more driven by, a different vibe rather than use up what I've got before I move on to something else. I think the outcome is similar, not buying and using what you've got, but I just think it's driven by a completely different thing.
And at the end of the day, there's always new makeup releasing anyway. So the thing that you didn't buy this month, in 3 months there's going to be something new anyway. So
yeah, or you find that you buy something, and I think this year, like 2020 has been a weird one because there were so many collections that came out, like band collections, TV, collaborations, movies, that I think that is what drove a lot of people to buy, is the collector element.
I 100% agree. I feel like brands really played on
nostalgia.
Yeah, they played people in that way to get them to spend money on stuff like this.
Instead of like, you need this new concealer that you won't use, they're like, buy this box set that we know you won't use, but you feel good when you look at it. I think that's what they played up a lot last year, and they will continue to do in 2021. But when I do think the industry is going to change completely because of COVID. Like not
100%.
Not forever, but I think 2021 is going to be a different year. And we sort of predict, and I don't know if this is going to be accurate or not. We did see at the start of the last year that I'm saying last year. We're filming this in 2020.
Yeah.
But it's going up in 2021. So
feels strange, doesn't it?
Yeah. Pretend that I'm not making mistakes as I talk. There was a lot of delayed releases due to COVID. So, manufacturing closing down, staff not being able to work in the full capacity, shipping just not working for people. So I do think that we might see a reduction of just the like bam, 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 bam releases. We saw a reduction in holiday releases.
We did. And I mean, we've seen a reduction all year long.
Yeah.
I can tell simply by the beauty news episodes. There's not as many things releasing each week. I mean, if you take into consideration all of the indie brands and the new brands, most of which we ignore because it's just like churn. Most brands, established, well-known brands, have been releasing a lot less.
Yeah, I totally agree. Due to COVID as well, we think that brands are going to focus a lot more on like lip balms or maybe like long wear lip products like lip stains and transfer proof products because with masks, people just aren't wearing glossy, shiny lipsticks, creamy lipsticks. It's not a thing. Like it's not a thing. And if you're a brand and you're about to release your new like creamy, dreamy fucking lipstick, hold off.
Yeah.
2021 is not the time.
It's not the time for it.
It's not the time.
No.
Until everyone gets vaccinated and we can all be like wearing our creamy, dreamy lipsticks together.
Yeah.
I actually think I'm wearing something called Creamy Dreamy.
They're the Nabla ones.
They're really good. Sorry, Nabla. They're really nice.
We love them, Nabla. We love them.
I just wouldn't wear them with a mask.
You can't. And I think anyone who...
No shade to Creamy Dreamy liquid lipsticks. They're beautiful.
Not. Like, anyone who wears makeup and has had to put a mask on understands the absolute fucking disgraceful mess that's under there. It looks like you tried to eat the mask with a mouthful of makeup as well. Like, it's heinous. So people just aren't bothering. And I think, brands are going to encourage people to buy and wear they're going to be releasing long wear stuff, transfer proof, smudge proof, or lip balms.
Yeah, nourishing.
Yeah.
I definitely think lip stains. We've already seen Anastasia Beverly Hills and I think a couple of other brands, Charlotte Tilbury, bring out lip stains, which are unusual because they're not common in Western brands.
Yeah.
So to see Anastasia Beverly Hills and Charlotte Tilbury do it implies that it is on its way.
Yeah.
And it makes sense in this time as well. Also, because of COVID, a lot of people are predicting. So we asked people on Beauty News a few weeks ago some of their trend predictions. A lot of people were saying emphasizing eyes because of masks. If you do want to wear makeup, a lot of people are going to put the effort in the eyes. So either, you know, interesting eyeliners, colored eyeliners, you know, better maintained brows, whatever it happens to be. Eyes are going to be the main thing that people are going to play with, which I think makes sense.
Mineral makeup could be another one.
Or like powder makeup.
Foundations, stuff like that. I think they'll definitely, brands, if they have something in the works or if they have what they consider like a budge-proof style formula, I think they will either try to revamp, re-release, something like that. But I feel like if they were going to try to push a long wear and good for you base product, it's going to be mineral foundation because it's powder and it's not like a massive thing to formulate it.
Super easy to formulate compared to liquids, but also the great thing, and I have actually turned to powder foundation as well this year, is that if you apply a little bit, you cover a little bit of like whatever your issues are, redness, acne, whatever, covers it a little bit, but it doesn't look as noticeable when it wears off in the mask. So you take your mask off and there's not like lines where it's your liquid foundation has come off. It just sort of like blends away. So it looks a lot more subtle. So I think that if you do want to wear a base product, I'm finding that powder foundations are great with masks, and I sort of feel like it goes with that minimal makeup sort of vibe as well that people are rocking. So I do think that if a brand doesn't have a powder foundation or a mineral sort of powder foundation, I think you'll start seeing them coming from brands. But I agree that otherwise it's going to be like bulletproof, budge-proof, waterproof, sweat-proof sort of makeup that will last under masks as well. Yeah.
And then obviously something that happens to a lot of people from wearing masks, maskne. I think we're probably going to see a lot of like anti-acne
spot treatments,
antibacterial products, skincare products that are aimed at treating that. I think that's where brands will be trying to cash in over the next 12 months for sure. Yeah,
and I reckon, and brands probably won't do this, but I'm sure some will try. It's not going to be like a big trend, but I'm sure you'll see some pop up. But they've got to be careful because if they start saying too much, they're going to get in trouble. We have seen some brands through COVID say things like, this is antibacterial and this will minimize your risk of getting COVID. And it's like, that's a pair of leggings. How does that fucking work? I reckon you'll start finding brands talking about antibacterial properties in makeup. Like, it's just going to be like more alcohol or something.
I've also seen, and this is something we're going to talk about in a minute, we might just follow on from it.
Let's do it.
I've seen some brands, not beauty brands, but some other, we'll call them lifestyle brands, releasing vitamins that claim to be antiviral. And I'm like,
you're a dickhead, Harry.
Is this legal?
Probably not.
Because I'm not sure that I don't think it would fly in Australia. I don't know about other areas of the world, you know, but I think we're going to see a lot of brands trying to do the sneaky, the dodgy, cash in on people's fears. Or try and use COVID to their benefit to make money. And I think we're going to see a lot of brands start releasing multivitamins.
So
whether they're COVID safe or not.
Just in general, I think there's going to be a big switch. Like, 2020, we saw a big switch from makeup brands releasing skincare. And again, I think that's a smart move and it's the right year for it because people are wearing less makeup. And if they do want to invest in something, the sort of pamper thing has been happening. Like, you know, people's mental health has been shot to shit. So, you know, treat yourself, de-stress, have some me time. That's sort of promoted a lot. And I think skincare fits that category a lot better than makeup does. So I think brands have shifted to skincare. I do agree they're going to shift to like multivitamins and like that kind of shit because it's like trying to promote health.
Yeah.
Which,
and we saw a couple of brands do it this year. So
Morphe had a sister brand.
Yeah.
And then we saw, who did this? JLo Beauty.
Oh, that's right.
They
that's
had
right,
like
just
the
recently. Yeah.
Yeah, powder stuff. And I know that Halo Beauty brought out some powder shit as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll find that brands will have an offshoot and I reckon Colourpop are in the works with this.
Oh yeah, 100%.
They're going to have a different, like they've got Fourth Ray, they've got Soul Body, they're going to have a different one.
They are 100% working on some sort
Supplements.
of like supplement.
Hair, nails, skin, fucking
absolutely.
something.
If they're not, I'll eat my right foot.
Yeah.
No, I won't.
They're working on it.
But they
Even
are.
if it takes 3 years to come out, they're fucking working on it, trust
100%.
me. So I think we're going to see that a lot because health is going to be sort of the goal rather than beauty, if that makes sense. And I also think a lot of brands are going to get into lifestyle. So we've seen Kylie recently did it with candles and body products.
Yeah.
I think KKW Fragrance recently brought out fragrances. Candles.
Yes,
There is, and Jackie Ina brought out candles.
Candle brand.
Yeah, so I feel like we're going to see a lot of lifestyle products coming out from brands as well because again, you want to de-stress at the end of the day. You light a candle, you put on a mask rather than I wear my fancy lipstick under my mask. It doesn't happen. So I think we're going to see that shift big time. Flowing from that as well, I think when people do wear makeup, it's going to be more minimal makeup, like easy to wear makeup. So whether it's like you know, stick blush that you can just quickly throw on or a stick eyeshadow that's like a one and done eyeshadow, I do feel like people are going to tiptoe back into the makeup world, but with easy products. So I do feel like brands like, we mentioned it last year anyway, Glossier, they're probably going to love this time of the year because, you know, something that can make you look. I was also thinking when it comes to like alternatives to bases, you know how like Charlotte Tilbury had that sort of like glowy base that sort of diffuses the skin, but it isn't foundation. I feel like brands are going to do things like that.
Well, Becca tried to do that with that
that invisible
zero
fucking
range.
thing. Yeah. So I feel like brands are going to try that thing where it's like you don't want transferring foundation in your mask, so we're going to give you some skincare infused, blah 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 blah, to put on your face, to just blur a little bit of the imperfection. So I think makeup that does that and it's really simple, really basic, I think people are going to gravitate towards. When it comes to like legit makeup, when it comes to colors, we did talk about, and we're spot on, nudes and cool tone nudes. I reckon they're going to continue.
I think so too. Yeah, I think cool tone nudes are going to make their like big debut now that it's winter in the US. And also I feel like brands will feel safe releasing eyeshadow palettes. So look, I don't mind that. That's cool. I'm excited to see how they do it in modern times compared to when they were cool 10 years ago. So that's kind of exciting. I'm keen to see what they're going to do with that. But we were talking about colors and I just don't really, I can't think of any colors that are really going to be popular.
I don't think any colors are going to, like, brands that do rainbow palettes and colorful palettes, they're not going to stop.
No.
But I don't think, like, 2 years ago we saw, like, it was a year of rainbow palettes.
Yeah.
And I feel like every man and his dog, every drugstore brand, anyone that wanted anything had to release a colorful palette to be seen.
Yeah.
And I think there was a big shift 2020. And I think that shift will continue. I think there'll still be brands that are like, our favorite thing is to release this color, and that's cool. But the big shift is going to be probably toned down color, whether it's more like dusty pinks or soft muted purples or, you know, sandy colors or whatever it happens to be. If there's color, it's going to be toned down a lot more, because I think people are going to be coming out of their cocoons being like, I don't know how to apply makeup anymore. I don't want to battle with the fucking bright blue.
I did think maybe 70s colors might try to make a comeback. I don't think they will succeed because they're ugly. You can go Google that if you want. Because I'm noticing a lot of 70s fashion is coming back, and it's not it's not like they've taken 70s fashion and revamped it into modern day fashion where it's really funky and cool. It's like 70s fashion from your mum's wardrobe, and she wasn't really one of the cool kids. So it's a bit like,
can't relate. My mum was cool. She used to go to all the clubs in the 70s.
Well, so did my mum, but if you go...
Someone else's mum, obviously.
Someone else's mum. Like, just...
Daggy.
Next time you're, like, browsing any shops, just have a close look at the fug. It's pretty bad. Like, I'm like...
Yeah, fugly.
It's fugly.
Yeah.
So, maybe we might see some really ugly 70s inspired shit coming back, but honestly I think what we're really gonna see in terms of eyeshadow palettes, I think it's all gonna be, not all, but like let's say 80%, I reckon it's gonna be themed shit like what we saw this year. It's gonna be based around properties, nostalgic shit, bands, TV shows, movies, cones,
food. We saw fucking hot sauce.
Yeah.
I agree. I think that's definitely where it's going to be at.
Yeah.
I think that is a selling point, because if you hit the nostalgia button, or people will buy no matter what the product is.
Yeah.
And I do think that has been the main catalyst, as far as I have seen, when it comes to people and rushing to buy something.
Yep.
It has been a property that they love and they feel really drawn to, and even if they don't care about the products, they're like, I just want the palette that has the thing on it.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to continue, and that's going to keep selling makeup. I think when it comes to permanent releases or the constant everyday releases, I think it's going to be so mundane. Bland, wearable. You can chuck it on with your finger and it looks fine. I also think we've seen the sort of, I don't recall seeing it in that video. Maybe we either skipped it or maybe we talked about it on the reflecting on 2019 trend predictions. But I remember we were talking about multi-chromes and how it's not going to come out yet because brands need to sort of get their shit together and formulate it.
Yep.
And we're also talking about like, why haven't we seen liquid versions? We have.
Yep.
So I feel like we saw them from at least within 1 or 2 weeks. I think we saw like Linda Hallberg, Natasha Denona, Dominique Cosmetics. They all released sort of the same thing. I think we're going to see a lot more multi-chromes coming out from a lot more brands, because again, I think it's either going to be basic or special, and you can play up the eyes. I think we might also start seeing some fun liners, because again, if you want to play up a feature, it's going to be the eyes. But the rest of it's going to be you're bland, or you're buying that because you love SpongeBob.
Correct.
That's going to be 2021 in a nutshell.
I reckon.
And fucking skincare and candles and scents and bath bombs.
And more celebrity brands.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Exactly right. So I think that's pretty much it.
Yes.
But I think to finish it off, we did talk about this slightly in the last video. Things that I think should come out but won't. I think still minis. I really want minis still. We did talk about it, but it hasn't really come out.
Yeah.
Started to, but I really want to see a brand just be like, everything we offer is now in a mini. Like Nabla offer their foundations in little minis.
Yeah.
That's a great way to try a foundation. And realistically, if you've got a drawer full of 30 foundations, which I do have, if you want to know if you're going to like a formula enough to buy a full bottle,
want a mini.
Try the mini first.
Mini.
Try the mini first.
Yep.
But what do you think is going to be, or what do you think you'd like to see but won't come out?
I thought brands, and here's the thing about this, it's trendy now, so they need to get on it now. Plant-related makeup products.
Yeah.
And again, this is going to that sort of, not nostalgia, but that like trendy thing that's currently happening. Plants are booming at the moment in a big way because of COVID, because of lockdown. And I think a lot of brands could sell a palette, just fucking sell it to the green lovers for starters, and also having cool looking plants on the packaging. Fucking
Colourpop's done that a couple times.
They have,
but I do agree, plants are huge, and I think nesting is huge.
Yeah.
So anything that sort of like feels like you're beautifying your house.
Your domicile, yeah.
Things like candles or products in beautiful packaging that you can then display later would make someone buy it. Like if you could buy a beautiful, I don't know, fucking room fragrance in a beautiful bottle that you're like, I could turn that into a vase. Like things like that would be really smart. They're not going to do it, but nesting is a big thing. Another thing I thought of, but I don't think it'll happen, but I think it makes sense for this time, is sort of like DIY makeup skincare kits. So even if it's something like you buy like from The Ordinary a pack of mini bottles and you can like mix and match and create your like perfect potion, or you've got like a lip balm set and you can sort of choose the scent and choose the color and mix it yourself. I feel like lockdown really made people do a lot of DIY. And even if it was things that you don't like, it's not even cost effective to DIY. Like
it was still something to do.
It was something to do, something fun. It was an activity. So I think if you could turn beauty, like, you know, I know there's candle making kits and stuff, but if you could turn that like skincare or makeup, or design your own nail polish, like have little pigments, have little like glitter things and make your own, I feel like that would be smart, but it's not going to happen.
No, I think brands are too slow for that. Restaurants can put together a really cool DIY pizza kit at home,
or bubble
like
tea.
Bubble tea. Yeah, I mean, even I got onto the bubble tea thing. I went and bought the little popping bubbles and the fucking peach syrup, and I was in my element. I was like, bubble tea every day. Didn't even have to leave the house. But makeup brands, I think they're slow. All right, well, I think we're going to wrap that up. It's going to be an interesting year. What is going to happen in 2021? We'll see.
Volcanoes.
Sharknado.
No, volcano was actually earlier in 2020.
Wasn't it?
Oh, damn it.
Yeah, the New Zealand one.
Fuck, 2020 was a really shit year.
Oh, it was fun. Bushfires, volcanoes, pandemic.
Were there like killer wasps or some bullshit
There was killer wasps, yeah. Wait, is this the apocalypse?
I think it might be. This might never go up.
Oh,
it's the end of the world.
It's all right. I'm at peace with my life.
I've got enough makeup to get me through the apocalypse. It's fine.
It's fine. All right, guys. Don't forget, you can let us know what your trend predictions are down in the comments. And we hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up.
From us. From us.
We love you, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye.